Hello guys, it's me Sir Michael and welcome back to Sir Michael Tutorial at nandito na naman tayo para sa isa na namang video tutorial sa mga lessons ng mathematics. Now for today's lesson, ang pag-uusapan natin is how to solve quadratic equation by completing the square. So kailan ba natin ginagamit yung completing the square? So completing the square is used in solving quadratic equation that are not factorable. Okay? So, yung hindi natin pwedeng gamitin agad yung extracting the square root, hindi natin siya pwedeng i-factor, then that is the time that you can use completing the square method. Ano po? Okay, so let us try to solve the different examples given in this video. Okay, so in solving quadratic equation using completing the square, take note that the equation must be written in the form x squared plus bx plus or equals c. So, dapat nakaganitong format siya para magamit natin yung completing the square dahil kapag nakaganyang format na siya in solving, magiging ganito dapat yung magiging itsura niya. Bx plus b over 2 squared is equal to c plus b over 2 squared. So, kaya siya dapat maging ganito is para mapunta tayo dito sa ganitong klase ng equation kasi yan yung kailangan natin para makapag-solve tayo ng completing the square. So, kaya siya meron b over 2 squared, siya yung tinatawag na pang-complete ng square para maging perfect square trinomial itong nasa left side. Ano po? So, make it sure or please remember this b over 2 squared para madali kayo makapag-solve using completing the square. Now, let us try to solve x squared plus 2x is equal to 8. So, as you can see in the given quadratic equation, it is already written in the form x squared plus bx is equal to c. So, what will happen is that, dadagdagan na lang natin siya noong magic number na plus, lagyan natin ng blank, is equal to 8 plus, okay, so bakit dalawa yung blank? Dito po yun. Ito po yung kailangan natin gawin. Ilalagay natin yung v over 2 dito sa dalawang side. Ano, kung anong inad mo dito, i-add mo rin dito. So, dito po sa ating given, the value of v is 2. So, 2x, so that would be 2 divided by 2 squared. So, 2 divided by 2 squared. Saan galing yung 2 divided by 2? Remember, b divided by 2. So, laging divided by 2 yung b. Kaya naging 2 over 2 raised to 2. And then, simplify na lang natin. So, that would be x squared plus 2x plus 1 squared is equal to 8 plus 1 squared. Then, itong nasa left side is now a perfect square trinomial. And in factoring perfect square trinomial, lagay natin yung link, nakalagay na po yung link sa description sa baba kung paano siya i-factor. Now, in this case, madali lang naman siya i-factor. Kunin nyo lang yung square root ng first term, that is x, and then square root ng last term, that is 1 squared, and then yung sign niya or yung operation niya is depende dito. So, since plus siya, kaya magiging x plus 1 squared is equal to 8 plus, or simplify na natin, so yung 1 squared ay equivalent siya sa 1, kaya magiging 8 plus 1, and that is 9. Then, we can now do the extracting the square root, kasi x plus 1 squared na siya. So, pwede na natin siyang kunan ng square root. So, cancel yung square root, cancel yung squared. So, we have x plus 1 is equal to, the square root of 9 is the positive negative 3. And then, solving for x, kailangan natin ilipat yung 1 sa kabilang side. And to do that, we add negative 1 on both sides. So, cancel na to. So, that would be x is equal to negative 1 plus or minus 3. Okay, so hindi pa natin siya pwedeng pagsamahin kasi plus or minus pa siya. Now, what are we going to do is, we're going to separate each factors or each solution kasi plus or minus paghihiwalayin natin. So, una dyan is x is equal to negative 1 plus 3 and x is equal to negative 1 minus 3. So, therefore, our solutions would be negative 1 plus 3 is positive 2 and negative 1 plus or negative 1 minus 3 is negative 4. So, therefore, these are the solution of our quadratic equation. Okay? So, let us proceed with another example. So, let us say we have x squared plus 6x plus 1 is equal to 0. So what will happen is that, syempre hindi pa siya nakasulat na x squared plus bx equals c. So kailangan muna natin siyang gawin na ganitong form. And for us to do that, ililipat natin yung positive 1 doon sa kabilang side. And for us to do that, we just add negative 1 on both sides para makancel siya. So that would be x squared plus 6x is equal to negative 1. Then, add tayo ng dalawang blank. So, x squared plus 6x plus blank is equal to negative 1 plus blank. Then, using the magic number which is b over 2 squared, so kunin natin yung value ng b, and the value of b in this equation is 6. So, that would be 6 divided by 2 squared. And then, we also have 6 divided by 2 squared. And then, simplifying, we have x squared plus 6x plus 3 squared is equal to negative 1 plus 3 squared. And then this one is a perfect square trinomial. Factor na natin siya. That would be x, then plus, then 3 squared is equal to negative 1 plus 3 squared. The 3 squared is equal to 9. So we can simplify it. Negative 1 plus 9 is 8. And then extracting the square root. So squared cancel. So that would be x plus 3 is equal to the positive negative square root of 8. And yung square root of 8, pwede natin siyang isimplify as, so lagay ko lang dito sa taas, yung square root of 8, pwede natin siyang isimplify as the square root of 4 times 2, which is equivalent to 2 square root of 2. Kasi yung 4 is a perfect square, so ang square root ng 4 ay 2, kaya mapupunta siya sa labas. And then may iwan yung 2 sa loob. So the answer would be x plus 3 is equal to positive negative 2 square root of 2. And then we need to solve for x, and for us to do that, transpose natin yung positive 3 sa kabila. And doing that, we add negative 3 on both sides. So the result would be x is equal to negative 3 plus or minus 2 square root of 2. So actually, pwede na itong sagot. Since hindi naman natin siya masisimplify dahil mayroong square root yung isang term, so pwede na to. But in case na kailangan paghiwalayin, pwede din naman na maging x is equal to negative 3 plus 2 square root of 2, and also x is equal to negative 3 minus 2 square root of 2. So these are the solutions of the given quadratic equation. So remember, pwede na tong sagot na to, or pwede rin naman ganito yung gawin niyo para mas kita yung solution. Okay? Next, so let us try to have the last example. So we have here 3x squared plus 5x minus 7. So as you can see, meron tayo dito ng 3x squared plus 5x minus 7. So hindi pa siya naka-written in the form x squared plus 5 plus bx equals c. So kailangan muna natin siyang isulat in this form. And kailangan nating ilipat yung negative 7 sa kabilang side. So we add positive 7 on both sides. And it will result to 3x squared plus 5x, so cancel na to, equals 7. And as you can see, meron pa tayo ditong 3. So what are we going to do is we're going to divide all of the terms of the equation by 3 dahil kailangan walang kasama yung x squared or 1 lang yung kasama ng x squared. So magiging 3 divided by 3 is 1, so that is x squared, and then plus 5 over 3 x is equal to 7 over 3. Okay? And then, proceed na tayo doon sa ating completing the square. Dito ko na lang po siya isusulat kasi medyo mahaba yung solution. So, we have x squared plus 5 over 3 x plus yung ating magic number is equal to 7 over 3 plus yung ating magic number na yan. Now, ang i-add natin dito is yung b natin, and in this case, ang b natin is 5 over 3, so that would be 5 over 3 divided by 2 squared plus 5 over 3 divided by 2 squared. So, medyo fraction siya, kaya medyo mahirap din siya. Okay? So, paano na tayo magdi-divide nito? 5 over 3, dito ko na siya isusulat, 5 over 3 divided by 2 can be written as 5 over 3 times 1 half, and that is 5 over 6. So we have x squared plus 5 over 3x plus 5 over 6 squared is equal to 7 over 3 plus 5 over 6 squared. And then this one is now a perfect square trinomial. Pwede na natin siyang i-factor, which is x plus, kasi plus ito, kaya plus 5 over 6 squared is equal to, so 7 over 3 plus 5 over 6 squared, simplify muna natin yung 5 over 6 squared. So 5 over 6 squared is also equal to 5 squared over 6 squared. And that would be 25 over 36. Okay? So we have here 7 over 3 plus 25 over 6. So add na natin yung 7 over 3. So that would be, ang ating LCD ay 36. So that is 25 plus 36 divided by 3 is 12 times 7 is 84. So that would be 825 plus 84 is 109 over 36. So that is 109 over 36. And then getting the square root of both sides, canceling square root, squared. So we have x plus 5 over 6 is equal to, so 109, yung 109 natin is not a perfect square, and yung 36 natin is a perfect square, so that would be positive negative square root of 109 over 6. Kasi yung square root ng 36 is 6. So yung 109, hanap tayo ng factors na pwede nating i-simplify yung given. Okay, so in this case, yung 109 is hindi natin siya masisimplify dahil wala siyang factor na magiging perfect square yung isa. So that means as is na siya as square root of 109. And then, so solving for x, kailangan nating masolve yung x, and we need to transpose positive 5x on the other side. So we add negative 5 over 6 on both sides. So cancel siya. Ang magiging sagot natin is x squared equals negative 5 over 6 plus or minus the square root of 109 over 6. So pwede na tong sagot, or pwede rin naman natin siyang i-combine since pareha siya ng denominator. Pwedeng maging sagot is x equals negative 5 plus square root of 109 all over 6. So pwede po yan ang maging sagot. And that is how you solve quadratic equation using completing the square. Thank you.